my sister and you feel like sometimes that there's no one that understands you, because sometimes you feel that you are not from this planet.
Right, yeah. There's a lot of people who are out there who don't feel like at home here in this planet. They just really feel like they're from another place. And that's why I was asking her, have you heard this term, Starseed? You know, Starseed is basically a soul that feels like they're from another place, and they've come here to assist humanity or even to just awaken. And when I use the term awaken, it's like we're born with this veil of amnesia. You know, like we come from the 5D, we come from different places where the energy is just like love, light, and peace, right? And we can exist that way for eons, you know. And we're together with our soul group. Like you're in my soul group, you know. These are people that reincarnate with us over and over again. But not everybody in the soul group has the same level of awakeness or whatever. So some people are just still in this veil of amnesia, you know, unless you actively work to uncover your memories of being a part of God or your God self, you don't know. And when I say God self, you know, everybody is a divine spark. Everybody is a part of God. Where we come from is source. People call it God, source, the central sun, whatever. It's the same thing. But in this place, all you know is love. All you know is connection. All you know is togetherness, you know. And everything is through love. That's all there is. And if you come from source, or if you come from another dimension that's a 5 or 6 or 7 dimension where you're just operating in that feeling where there's love and you feel connected to everyone around you and everything is peace and everything is good, you know, at some point even the soul gets bored with that and it needs to learn, right? So this is why we come to Earth, or we come to 3-dimensional planets. Earth isn't the only one, I'm sure. But this is the place where we learn. This is a place where our souls learn lessons and we grow and stuff, and we have to, sometimes we get
elementary school.
This is a school, yeah, it's not elementary. This school is hard. this Earth school is very difficult. And there's a line to get into this school, you know, because this is where you can learn the fastest actually. This is like an accelerated school.
So when people like have past life and stuff, that means that they failed in that grade, so they have to come back to redo it?
Not necessarily, because when you have a past life, every life might have a different learning purpose. So you might have to learn different lessons in different lifetimes. But if you get stuck in karma, in a karmic loop with people, then you can sometimes come back and have to live lives unnecessarily. So if you're a slow learner, because you haven't learned a lesson. Like for instance, in your lifetime, maybe your lesson is patience, you know?
Yeah.
And
I'm coming back.
You're coming back. Maybe not, you know, maybe you need to learn patience in certain situations.
I don't know how long,
but you don't.
I was a yogi in one life and I still didn't learn it.
But you don't know that. And you don't know also the lesson that you're supposed to learn specifically in this lifetime. So, you know, but we all have that amnesia. We all have forgotten that we're a part of the source. That's why there's so much, like this planet is where there's the most polarity. You'll find polarity everywhere on this planet. If male versus female, rich versus poor, political party versus this other political party. Anything you can think of that creates polarity and division and separation is on this planet. Why? Because we come from the opposite. In order to know who we are, we have to experience the opposite of that. So like we've fallen from source, you know, we're falling from God. So we're living and we're experiencing all these things because we have to experience them. And we're always uploading information to source. Like everything that's ever happened in every lifetime that you have is in the Akashic records, stored forever. So in between lives, when you go to the other side, you can look back on any lifetime and see what it is you learned, especially the most recent one. What it is you learned, what you didn't learn, and you have to come back and repeat. I'm trying really hard to not have to come back and repeat stuff. I'm trying really hard to dissolve karma with people, negative karma that I have accumulated with people. Forgiving people. Forgiveness may not does not necessarily mean re-entry into my life or re-entry into my life in the same capacity. But for me, that works. It doesn't work for everyone. Not everybody is. I've heard the radical forgiveness movement. I don't know what that is. All I know is that for me, to forgive certain people, okay, it is what it is. I don't know what the plan was when we came to this life. Sometimes the people that play the villains in your life are actually there for lessons. So, you know, if you don't learn that lesson, you're going to have to repeat it.
Maybe your lesson is forgiveness.
Maybe the lesson for me was forgiveness. It's not for everybody, but maybe for me it is, you know.
I think it is.
So I feel freer because of that. Because also I don't know what I've done to other people in past lives. So this is why I have this prayer that I also have up on my YouTube about people using forgiveness as a way to clear karma and move on, because we don't want to be stuck because of that, you know. So we have this amnesia, we have this separation, we're feeling alone. A lot of people in the spiritual community feel alone, like they don't have anybody to talk to about these things. And that's also an illusion, because we're really never alone. Everybody's, you know, connected. But because we're in this amnesia veil, a veil of amnesia, you know, we don't know this. So it's a matter of reconnecting with the divine and really reconnecting with yourself, with spirit, the universe, and ascending. And what ascending means is just raising your understanding and becoming closer to who you're meant to be, and remembering who you are, remembering that you are that divine spark, you know, remembering that sometimes we get in relationships too. A lot of people don't like the twin flame reference. Personally, you know, I don't think there's just like one like soul mate or whatever. We have a soul family or soul group. But I know sometimes we get in relationships or marriages with people and we mirror each other. It appears that we're opposite, but we're really the same coin. It's like the yin and the yang, right?
Us?
A lot of, yeah. A lot of people end up in these situations where you mirror each other and you trigger each other, but the purpose is for learning. And those are not always the relationships that are like, just everything is like peachy, you know, everything's just wonderful, and, you know, but there is sometimes people that get in relationships where they mirror each other. And those are the most transformational relationships, really.
So what did you think that, like, because everyone's different, you know?
Yeah.
And when one mirrors the other, do you think the other one's self disappears?
No. No, nobody disappears. We all come into contact with each other for reasons, you know. Like, you know, if there's something I have to learn, you may exhibit that behavior and it may trigger me until I learn whatever it is I need to learn and overcome that trigger, and vice versa, you know. So, and that's why people who believe in the twin flame journey, or a high level soulmate rather, these are souls that we continuously, you know, come back with in different forms, you know. So sometimes we form these relationships so that we can grow from that as well. And we don't really achieve balance until we achieve balance between the feminine and the masculine. You can't be a masculine that's unaware of your feminine energy, because you're operating from an unbalanced standpoint. When you're out of touch with your emotions, when you're out of touch with intuition, when you don't know when it's okay to sit back and receive, when you're always in go mode. And also, by the same token, if you're feminine and you're only operating in primarily feminine energy, you don't know when it is time to take action, when it's time to set boundaries. You don't know how to put your dreams into a physical manifestation that happens. Like you're in an imbalanced mode. So me, I've been working on that too. I've been working on, like, you notice I don't procrastinate as much as I used to when it comes to the goals and the things I want to do.
Yep.
I have learned to really practice my discernment. I've learned also discernment, when to give my energy to, how to give my energy to, who, you know, and then when to pull my energy back into myself. It's always important to be able to pull energy into yourself and connect with yourself and to have quiet time with yourself and to still your mind. That's the only way you can hear the voice of your higher self, the voice of God, or your own thoughts. If you're constantly busy and constantly distracted, you're never going to know who you are. You're never going to be able to accomplish the things you want because you stay distracted. And, you know, the powers that be want us to stay distracted. What's happening now? There's always going to be something happening now on the news. Always. I dare you to pick any time period in human history where there's nothing happening. But we have to stay grounded and know that what's happening on the world stage is meant to happen. Everything that's happening is happening as it should be, even the bad stuff. Because we have to reach to that ascended point by experiencing, like I said, the opposite, right? So we have to keep ourselves grounded. We have to, I always say, the closer you are to nature, the better. Not everybody that lives in the city has access to that, unfortunately. But if you can stay grounded and you can find moments of stillness and silence, I mean, you can shut out all the noise and understand who you are and how to be a better person. If everybody on this planet were to wake up tomorrow and invest in their own self and invest in remembering they're part of God, and so is everyone and everything, and invest in being better, there would be no more polarity on this planet. There would be no more lack. There would be no more anybody needing something or not being treated fairly or anything. So it's a process. You know, we've already, as a human race, as souls, before coming onto this planet, agreed that we're going to experience these things so we can ascend. You know, and it's happening, but we have to allow it to happen. You know, but we're also, you know, some of us are also, like, I've gotten so good at creating my own reality around myself, you know, like, you know, I've gotten good at keeping my vibration steady and not allowing every emotion and everything around me to be absorbed, because people who are empaths, they do that. So you have to learn how to shield yourself and to protect yourself. You need to, you know, stay connected to yourself, and that's how everything basically falls into place, you know. When you're a magnet for the things you want, when you're not outputting too much energy and not receiving back, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because when you do that, you run your battery dry.
You run your battery dry. I took a week off of social media. I did a social media detox last week. I didn't have my phone at all, you notice that? And it felt great. It felt good. It's something I'm going to do more. But in order for me to have my cup full to give to others, I have to fill myself up first. You have to fill yourself up before any, you know, filling or giving to other people. Because that's how you give the best of yourself. So I could go on and on about all this stuff, but I'm going to leave it like that. I just wanted to let people know that, you know, we are under this veil of amnesia, and we can remember and we can know these things, and we can, you know, just do the best we can. That's all we can do. Just keep sharing knowledge, keep sharing love, and keep sharing wisdom and things like that. So I love you.
I love you.
I love you, and I love you, and we all love each other, and hopefully we can all get through this process together. That's what it's about. Peace.